Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to some more Nova Drift. Enemies 2.0 updates just came out, and boy, I've been trying to fit this in. I've been trying to... Gosh, I am so bloody busy. It's odd, you know, I would have thought going down to like 2 videos a day would have actually changed things. It did not. So we want to go for a drone build. What is good with drone? I don't know, let's go Pulse. And, like, Siphon ain't terrible. Let's just go Siphon. Okay, there we go. I'll think about a good drone build in a bit. Let's see. None of these... I mean, there's the Architect, but no, we want the Engineer. There we go. Because, yeah, it seems like Construct's got the biggest boost out of this entire update, and so I kind of want to roll them. So, assemble, deploy. Okay, so this looks pretty normal, but you get your mod trees early, as opposed to later, which I really dig. Okay. So that means I might actually be able to get the Interceptor really early, which is pretty solid. Let's see. There is also the Guardian. I don't know which is better. Because this is the meta charges. Can create and hold up to 1 meta charge power up every 15 seconds. Projectiles gain a large blast radius. Interesting. Allies transformed into a Guardian. Guardian gains the ability to recover the hull of other types of damaged advanced constructs when nearby. You know what? I usually go Interceptor, but if I'm going for a heavy... if I'm going for a heavy construct build, I don't know if we need the Interceptor. If I was going for more weapons, I think I'd consider it. But I'm not. I don't know. I'll have to mess with this. It's been a while since I've played Nova Drift. It seems like I play Nova Drift whenever I'm going on vacation or coming back from vacation. Or in this case, going on a business trip. I've done literally, what, 3? Well, no. I guess going to PAX just in general kind of counts as a business trip. But I've only ever done like 2 truly official business trips as far as I'm concerned in my entire YouTube career, and it's kind of fun. Well, I guess this will be the second one, but it's kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably going to be a colossal waste of time, and I can't talk about like what I'm going to be doing. I'll put out like 2 tweets, I think, and then I'm mum until about December, at which point I can talk about it more. But it's exciting, because I don't know, like, I don't want to say, like, you know, there's always been that kind of desire for validation of, like, you know, what I'm doing has impact or means something. But it hasn't really felt like, up until the last couple of years, that there was that level of, like, immediate validation of, like, I'm somehow relevant, as opposed to just, like, an online entertainer. I realize that this is, like, a really weird thing to say, because, like, I never went into YouTube for fame. Whoop, 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 whoop. Can't turn around fast enough. Okay, spontaneous generation, absolutely. Those little summon droids are going to be really helpful. But no, I never went into this to be famous. Oddly enough, you know, I went into YouTube largely just to make friends, which I think I have somewhat succeeded at, but mostly failed at. You know, I was watching, I think it was Gassy Mexican and Scene Enders and Company. I was like, holy shit, you know, that looks really fun. I'd love to, you know, make some online friends just like that. And now I'm, like, pretty isolated. Ooh. I don't remember the drones having such a beautiful, like, projectile. Maybe they did and I just never noticed, but it looks really nice watching them shoot at things. Okay. So, what is this? Grace Protocol. When a drone would be destroyed, it's instead reduced to 1 hull and becomes immune to damage for a second. Interesting. What's the alternative? Oh, that's interesting. I can put out drones early. Nah. I'll go with this. This is perfectly fine for me. Let's see. An advanced engineering drone construct limit. Let's see, drone maximum hull and damage per your level. Ooh, that is nice. There is also bravado. I feel like bravado is such a toss-up. Because it could be totally fine. Or I could die. Time to be fine and then die. It's fine. If I absolutely get crushed here, then so be it. Huh. Surprise train. Okay, let's get over here. Unfortunately, I'm in kind of an awkward spot where I don't do a whole lot of damage to this guy. But I guess I do enough. We should probably get some durability upgrades at some point. But I mostly want, support ships. Okay, so looks like these have been changed. So defense drones convert drones into defense drones. Extra max hull. Gain a new drone formation and ability to toggle between them. Let's see. Rampart positions between yourself and the nearest hazard. Okay, prevents assault drones. Drones will protect you from blast or burn damage if they're between you and the attack. Ooh. Counterpulse. Secondary attack counterpulse that deals 100 damage in an area around them and can fire every 3 seconds. Charges up its blast radius and damage while not firing, with diminishing returns. When your drones take a hit, counterpulse is triggered. Okay. Constitution. Drones regenerate 2% of their max health per second. Drones can create an armor fragment power-up when they're destroyed. I don't know. And then there's also Turret Specialist, which is interesting and terrifying. Maybe we go defensive. Ally maximum hull and rate of fire per level ally projectile. We don't want another one. We don't want another spontaneous generation. There we go. Anyway, what was I talking about? Making friends, reason to do YouTube. And so, like, initially I did this mostly just because I had no way of making friends post-graduation. Ooh. You know, after college, and even kind of in the latter half of college when I was doing, you know, nothing but schoolwork, there was that aspect of just like, what do we even do with myself? Let's grab turret. Because ultimately, that's what I really need here. But yeah, there's that aspect of like, what do I do with myself and how do I meet new people? Let's see, do we want to grab Discord or Arc Barrier? Both are pretty good. I'm gonna grab Discord, it's rarer. Okay, there we go. Let's see. But so, yeah, it felt like YouTube was probably a decent way for me to meet some new people and potentially, you know, interact with them long term. In a way that, like, we're collaboratively playing videos together, but also just, it's fun. Let's see, so priority 0, killing enemies progresses your assembly time for advanced constructs, it's tempting. Subsumption, no, let's go War Machine. Because having my turrets actually fire missiles sounds really helpful. Okay, so what was I going to say? I'm so glad black holes do not affect my drones, that would be kind of unfortunate. And so, like, it worked early on, and I made a decent number of friends, but not like... wow. It always blows my mind how freaking huge this dude is. And then it zooms out and it's not quite as large. I swear, he's probably gained in size since this game first came out in early access. Okay, no reason for me to be in here anymore. Apart from kind of light convenience, but still. But yeah, so I made some friends for a while, but friends don't last. But I've been doing YouTube as my job for like, you know, 9 years now. And it kind of went from this thing that I was just doing as like a casual fun time thing to like the best job I ever probably could have gotten. Save for starting a game design studio or something and then like making the next Stardew. Like that's the only thing I think I could have done that would have been better than this. And even then that's kind of that's a crapshoot. I don't know if, I mean, yeah, it's definitely more of a crapshoot than making a successful YouTube channel. That I know for certain. Okay, advanced engineering, extra drone constructs limit, drone maximum hull per level. I thought I already had that one. Oh no, I have the other one. Probably still worth it though. Oh, damn. Train. Train. There we go. So I'll just go to the other side. There we go. Be safe over here. You know the drill. But so as this is like slowly become more and more of my job, and I'd actually credit like Nova Drift to a significant portion of this. Okay, I'm actually in danger here. I haven't invested a whole lot in my own personal safety. We have counter pulse. We do have arc barrier. Decoy signal. Let's grab counter pulse. I feel like that one's going to be at least somewhat moderately helpful. Ooh. This guy ain't that tough. He's tough enough. But so like Nova Drift and a couple others, like I'd even so much as say like Slay the Spire, oddly enough. You know, my entire career is kind of marked by these games that I'd specifically championed that went on to honestly be more successful than I have been. Which I actually think is incredibly cool. It's just there's kind of a neat aspect of like, I hate to say being a kingmaker, because I feel like that's a really gross statement to make. But it's the best phrasing I can think of at the moment. Of like, do we even want obsession? Would it help me? I don't know. Whereas reconstitution is going to be great. I really like this update. I think it's incredibly cool. The drones feel so much better and so much more interesting in their use. You know, previously I'd always go for the assault drones, but now it's just like, no, actually I think going for defensive drones, ooh, that's cool looking. I think going for a bunch of defensive drones is like 1,000 times more interesting. I don't really care for subsumption. I don't think I really care for most of these. Like, we could go for a really big blast rate. What is this? Infused. Discharge now deals 8% of your current shields self-damage to you. When you fire your weapon, it gains added damage equal to 400% of the self-damage dealt by discharge, divided between projectiles fired. What? Okay. That's fascinating. I will have to try that. Somebody else will probably tell me the build. For now, I'm just gonna probably get shield durability. Or maybe even efficiency. Let's grab efficiency. The more regen, the better. I don't actually really know what my build's gonna be after this point. I don't want to say like I've kind of hit my upper limit. I guess the next order of business, oddly enough, apart from, you know, any and every drone upgrade that we can possibly get, might be to just get as much as I can into like really big shots as possible. Let's see, definitely elegant construction. I don't know if I want to go for overseer. We could go totally passive. I was just thinking it would be interesting if you kind of max out your drones, then you could just go like all in on heavy caliber. So just every once in a while, like once every 20 seconds, you drop a screen-wide nuke that just destroys everything. Maybe. Let's see. Anyway, point defense is big, because now I heal next to my turrets. Oh right, I forgot. And I can actually drag my turrets around very slowly, I think. But you can push into them at the very least. Yeah, because if you get that, like, sweet Venn diagram, you're really safe. Let's grab Echo Strike. Because it doubles their damage, no longer degenerates, and gives them an explosion, which we kind of need. Meta Charge is also really good. Because that'll potentially let them heal my, my turrets as well. But anyway, because of all of these different games that I've helped, I guess, somewhat substantially, and like, I cannot take credit for all of them. You know, Nova Drift is a fantastic game. There's no way that my coverage actually led to even half of the success of this game. Maybe the initial push. Holy smokes, they're just shredding this dude. Actually, I might as well get up in here if I can. Bye. That was upsettingly strong, and I love it. But, you know, I've had a number of developers over the years just be like, yeah, you know, thanks for that boost. My Discord is actually hopping now. And it's a good feeling, but even just beyond that, it's kind of made me realize that, like, this is a thing that I can do. You know, it's not a thing I'd ever thought about before, of, like, you know, being effectively the other side of the marketing system, because, you know, there's tons of PR people and community managers and whatnot. And I guess there are tons of indie YouTubers that feature these games, but it still just feels like this is a thing that that is a service that people want and benefit very directly from. That I don't want to say that, like, is... The phrase wouldn't be non-controversial, because it's not controversy that I'm afraid of, so much as just, like, I prefer to... I'm a people pleaser. I prefer to do things that I know people are going to like. And so the idea of doing this thing that... Let's see, do we want to grab barrier? Yeah, let's grab barrier. Doing this thing that is, like, pretty universally helpful. You know, I help developers get their name out there. And I help people find games that they'd actually like. You know, rather than, you know, the third Assassin's Creed game in a year. And, like, okay, I'm being a little bit dismissive there. I'm sure Assassin's Creed is fine. I just have never had any substantive... Ow. I've never had any substantive interest in the series, which is the problem. A problem? Not much of one. Arc barrier. Yeah. I actually forgotten I hadn't picked that one up. Anyway, let's hang out here. Thank you, turrets, for healing me. But so, I don't know, kind of long term, my goal has changed from, like, doing this as a casual thing to effectively being, the guy that mines for indie gems fervently, forever. And I don't mind it, actually. I found some really cool games. I think my biggest issue is, what the hell? You're new. Warp disabled. I don't know what that means. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, that's what that means. This is equal parts one of the coolest bosses I have ever seen, and also I am so confused. Okay, can I escape? Yep, kind of, not really. Ow, ow, ow. Do I take damage going for those? I don't know. I don't know anything, but this is freaking sick. Okay, yeah, this is gonna... Ooh, that hurt. Okay, looks like we've taken out one of the little balls at the very least. I would love to play almost like a non-roguelite version of Nova Drift at some point. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just thinking these boss designs are, like, way cooler than... Uh-oh. I'm, like, outside the wall. Oh, wait, no. I'm fine. Can I, like, come and go? Yes, but it does a ton of damage to me. Okay, do not touch those. Okay, he's dead. That was a very passive fight, but that's what I do. Let's see, velocity, anything else? Chaotic ambition, interesting, but no, let's grab channeling. That armor is probably incredibly helpful. But so, I guess going back to my thing about business trips and validation, just kind of the idea of, like, eventually being to the point where, like, I get invited to places as, like, a guest speaker or, like, a, you know, light expert. Because I've done, like, a PAX panel on roguelikes. And admittedly, like, I'm probably gonna get supplanted as, you know, one of the roguelike experts, honestly, by probably some of my friends. Because I think they're a little bit more hyper-specialized than I am, but when I was on that panel, it was just kind of like me and the guy that literally had coined the term roguelite, I believe. And, like, maybe some other people, and I'd never heard of this guy before, which entirely my bad, because, like, he's been everywhere. And it's just like, oh. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool, just be one of those, like, long-lasting people that just is tangentially associated with gaming. I don't think I'd ever be like a Jeff Keighley, but, like, I don't know. It'd be fun. I realize that I'm being very presumptive here. I'm not that big, but I don't know. When you turn 30, there's kind of that aspect of just like, yeah, what do you do with your life? Is this where you want to be, and how are you going to... Ooh, grandeur. I could get bigger. It'd slow me down. Gave me a lot of levels. Me being big is not the worst. Size, crash damage, knockback. Oh, it doesn't actually increase my HP. Grandeur is funny, but I don't think it's actually that helpful. I don't know. Do we want to go... Oop. I guess I grabbed volatile shields. Let me see super mods. What do we even have that I could consider at this point? I guess I could look into mines and switch over to start mortaring things. That's a little risky, but it's not the worst. Are there more super mods than this? I thought there were. No, guess not. Strafing strikes, warpath and strafe. Interesting. I guess the real question is, like, would we want to do vital bond or something? There's also... Okay. Can I actually see what they do? No. Damn. Because, yeah, charged mines and mortar is an interesting potential. I think the one problem is those tend to get a little dicey. It might not be the worst idea for me to actually invest in my own attacks at this point, but we'll see. I mean, I'm up to a decent level all the same, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. I'm just gonna sneak behind. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, 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 no. Do not turn at my turrets. They're not there for you. Okay. Let's see if I can get up and close. Not that it really matters. But at least I can do a little bit of damage. Just compared to my turrets, it's negligible. It ain't much. I could also grab stuff like Defiance. So give me some amount of defense, but that's probably bad. How do you reroll? Ah, that's how you reroll. Yeah, we don't want Omni Shield. Oh, we should probably grab Priority 0. Because that actually is going to be incredibly helpful. Aw, we didn't see the alternate final boss. Yeah, there's 2 new final bosses that were added, but I guess we're unlucky here. That's fine. There we go. And some general blast damage would not be the worst idea in the world. If I wanna keep my weapon around. I could go get rid of it all, go for evolution, be weaponless. The only immediate problem is that really does hurt my survivability a bit. But with the defensive drones, maybe that's not a problem. I don't know. I don't know. For me, always, getting up to wave 100 in Nova Drift, like, nothing else really matters. After that point, it's just gravy. Because, like, I don't know. I just see it as a win. And it is supposed to end at wave 100, give or take. There we go. But, you know, obviously we just keep going and going for as long as we can. I'm just glad we got this on our first run of the day. Let's see. Do we want to grab Maelstrom? Sure. Maelstrom has some fun effects. And honestly, the more, like, weird passive damage sources I can get, the better. Because, yeah, I don't think me using Pulse is particularly important. I do an amount of damage, but it's mostly just there for the sake of being there. I would love to do, like, a weird turbo nuke, Pulse build with Interceptors someday and, like, really high blast radius. But I'm patient. I just wanted to try the new drones, see how they worked, and the answer is pretty well, actually. I like them. I also really like the new upgrade art. Okay. So overclock. Extra rate of fire, pretty tempting. Now there is shielded constructs. This might not be a problem. It could be. Oh, we still haven't gotten a hull strength. That's amusing. It might not be as much of a problem with the defensive drones that I have. It could get a little spicy dicey, but they protect me from blast damage now, which, like, unless I'm up against something really, really dangerous, that actually should cut most damage. And honestly, if I'm at the point where something can just chew through my drones, I'd probably die regardless of what my shield quantity is. Maybe. And this would then help my turrets. Whoops. I probably should have gone for reflect shields, because that actually would have been so much better. I do not know how much HP my turrets have, but they are tanky little suckers, and I love them. Oops. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Do we want to do evasion? Ally attempts to dodge attacks. Does that even affect? I have no idea. Well, we should probably grab self-destruction, because that also gets us Overseer, which I think I'll grab. Because I think Overseer does increase the amount of drones we can put out. And turrets, even? Maybe? I'm not actually sure if you can have more than 2 turrets. It would be really cool. A reworked the Architect that just mashes every construct together into one. Rather than preventing you from having more than one construct, it just makes your construct a weird construct composite. That would be so hard to balance, but it would be the coolest shit ever to have, like, you know, oh my, what are you? Okay, this must be the alternate wave 20 boss. That is so cool. And it's a little menacing, because I do not recognize it at all. But gosh, this is the game that keeps on giving. I'm like so close to done on a video essay on Bullet Heavens. I'm not going to be able to get it done until next week, probably, because, like I said, going on a business trip can't exactly... Like, I might be able to do some editing while I'm away, but, like, I'm going to be focused on the business trip more than anything else. And then I get back, and it's just like, well, now it's time to make sure I have more content for YouTube. Because if that drops, then I'm really in trouble. And then there's the potential of moving. If I get really lucky. I'm going to jinx it by talking about it, but, like, I gotta have hope somehow, man. Ow, 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 ow. Do not like being here. Okay, so what is this? +1 to advanced constructs, extra constructs assembly time. Oh. That's fine. Yeah, let's do Overseer. Because a third turret is way more effective than me ever shooting anything. Plus we can get mortar. And pulse mine mortars are, like, beyond solid. Welcome to Hecktown. Population gun. I know that means nothing. But it's fun to say. Oh, yeah, that also doubled the amount of drones that I have in play here. So that means my counter pulse is spooky? Cool. Okay, so what was I going to say on all of this? I don't know. Oh, right, I was talking about how Bullet Heavens have kind of been this genre where it's like the gift that keeps on giving. You know, I come back in a couple of months to Novadrift and the whole game is like a completely different beast. Obviously, it's still kind of similar to what it used to be. Like, the game has changed dramatically and yet not at all. It has been refined 1,000 times and is better for it. Okay, support specialist. Extra construct assembly speed, rate of fire, but again, hurts my upper limits here. It's kind of still tempting. Tactical link. Oh my gosh, this could have been a mistake. But now they fire really fast. We might need to invest in some speed here. But yeah, we killed that guy before he even got out of his initial snipe phase. Like, I realize that I am the most glass cannon at this point, but at the flip side, I am very deadly to be in the vicinity of. My big fear, I think, is my my constructs getting schmacked. Because if I lose them, I'm the most sitting duck. Oh, that was convenient. Thank you. Let's see. But yeah, so even for Nova Drift, a game that came out back in, what, 2019? There's this just kind of feeling of like, oh, hi. That's spicy. Oh, all my turrets are still in play. They're still alive. Okay. There was a concern for a moment, but we are and we remain fine. Yeah, those counter pulses are solid. I don't know if they're affected strictly by blast radius, but I should probably invest more into blast overall. Let's see, can I actually check? Counter pulse. No, that's defense drones. Because it charges up its blast radius, but I don't fully know if that means that it scales based off of other upgrades. I certainly hope so. I mean, considering how damn big they seem to be, I think it does scale off of mods, maybe. But I guess I haven't really invested a whole lot into them, period. Ow, 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 ow. That's bad. You're bad. You're bad and you should feel bad. Alright, let's hang out in this sweet Venn diagram. Thank you. The Venn diagram of safety. The perfect place. Just hug a turret and just hope very hard I don't die. I don't know what shielded constructs do with Bastion. I've forgotten that one. I think it does actually give them like a tiny little bastion. I'm not gonna do it though. Not this run. I think that'd be kind of, ooh. Would that even work with like an architect build? I'm not sure. Well, we might get a high score on this one. Okay, decoy signal. Kind of tempting. I mean, reflexive shields ain't terrible. I'm gonna go in improved thrusters. I'm a little slow, and being able to get around a little bit better actually should be kind of really helpful. I'm shocked I haven't seen mines go by, but that might also just be because I haven't processed their existence. It's not infrequent for me to do this, where I'm looking for something, but I'm too distracted by something else, and I'll just not ooh. That is a cool looking thing. Just take a bunch of enemies and turn them into a snake. That's kind of fun, actually. I like that. Like I said, gift that keeps on giving. The problem is with every one of these updates, I then turn around and say, like, what more can be added? I don't know. I mean, maybe eventually a story. I almost wonder with a game like this if the story mode would actually be, I don't want to say detrimental. I'm thinking like Mother Gunship. I love Mother Gunship. But I wish the story had not been the forefront focus and it had been purely, you know, just Tower of Guns 2. Because, quite tragically, not every developer is a good writer. I don't know about Chimeric, you're probably fine. But I've definitely run into some where it's just like, the actual story mode is not nearly as worth it as just like, more gameplay. I clearly need to start writing more so I can put up or shut up. I'm 32, I should be able to write a book at this point. And keep coming up with notes until I'm blue in the face, but it ain't gonna mean anything until I have a finished product. Mostly just for my own benefit more than anything else. I mean, like, it's weird, I keep acting like I have all these things that I need to do to validate my own existence, but like, I don't know, I feel pretty validated sometimes. Do we want Streamline? Yes, because I think Leaf in the Wind would be good. The only immediate problem is that I am very killable. I also don't have Warpath and don't really need it. But yeah, getting Leaf on the Wind... is it Leaf on the Wind? Oh shoot, it might not be. I mean, even then, it's not a whole lot of health lost in favor of a lot more maneuverability and a much smaller hitbox. Whatever the one... Is it Apotheosis? Whatever the one that makes it so I have no collision, so people can't ram me. And I take no collision damage, like that especially is going to be probably the biggest way for me to not die. Because I think it's enemies ramming me that... They're the ones that cause the most immediate threats. Because that loss of control is really hard to deal with. But no, I don't think I need to validate my existence by actually, like, writing a book finally. But I think it's one of those that, like, boy, it would be nice if I did so. My main problem is just I'm so busy all the time. There's kind of that aspect of just, like, you know, I want to finish this, but it's so hard to find the time. And then when I do find the time, it's, like, 2 months later, and I'm, like, a completely different person. The big issue is media consumption, that normally for me, you know, or for like a normal person, you might only consume like X amount of media. And if you're a writer, you can really focus on the writing. But for my job, I'm effectively exposing myself nonstop to new sources of media constantly that might affect how I play or see or do things. So, you know, this month it's been I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which is like a very good game, by the way. And, you know, for me, now that I've played that, I'm like, oh man, you know, there are aspects of that I'd love to incorporate into a novel or a novella, just because, like, I think it's a sweet piece of media. And then, like, you know, 3 months from now, it's going to be a different game. I mean, hell, right before Teenage Exocolonist, it was literally Road Warden. Which I need to go back to. I just am nearing the ending of it, and it was getting a little sad. Because I wasn't as effective with my playthrough as I thought I would be. Ooh, this looks spicy. Two of the harder bosses. Okay, so I need to actually be kind of careful here. Because, ow, 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 wow. Okay, did we kill one of them? We did. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna kind of run circles for a bit. I love defensive drones. They might actually be some of the most powerful things in this game. Alright, this is a high score run. I think as soon as we get over 1 million, we're in a really good spot. I love the popcorns sound when they die. It is the best. And for whatever reason, that makes me want to watch Men in Black again. I've not seen Men in Black in quite some time. Ow, rude. I don't know what exploded there. Oh, good. His little buggers can get killed. They're not an energy attack. I thought they'd be like a homing projectile, but no, they're a little homing destructible thing. Sick. I don't even know what way. And this is why I very much would like to get my hands on Apotheosis. Because, yeah, imagine being rammed by something that can't hit you. Oh, it'd be glorious. I think the other reason why I like this specific build is that it's kind of focus free. All I have to do is dodge. And so I can focus most of my efforts into commentary. Ideally good commentary, but you never know. I mean, at this point I've played this game so dang much that it's effectively nothing more than a podcast for me. Which, I am in trouble. Should have gotten Apotheosis earlier. Oh well, it's fine. It was a podcast, but now it was... What rank did we get? Counter. Yes! Actual high score. Now, you might notice that quite a lot of these are either drone builds or missile builds. I think because many of them are not exactly the most, like... I don't want to say focus heavy, but you can spend a lot of your time just kind of chilling and then unleash hell, or just passively unleash hell. I'll have to try a Living Sun run again at some point. I think that could be pretty good. But for now, at least, if you guys want to try the, what is it called? The Enemies 2.0? Check this. Yeah, the Enemies 2.0 Part 2 update is available now for everybody. You don't have to go on a beta branch or anything. It's just there. And if you've never played Nova Drift before, it is one of my favorite games of all time. And I believe, normally it's 15 bucks. It might be down to 10? No, it's $7.50. Do yourself a favor and pick this game up if you've never played it before, especially if you're a big fan of games like Nova Drift. Or not Nova Drift, Vampire Survivors, or anything of that ilk. It's kind of retroactively the only bullet heaven, bullet hell that really wears both crowns well, and boy does it. But, with all of that said, if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know, and if you want to see more rad new indie games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons of them to check out. But for now, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.